over the past month, I've been grinding out over on Twitch to see how easy or difficult it is to make money as a live streamer when starting as a complete beginner. Now that the experiment is over, I can reveal how much money I made, why I didn't really enjoy live streaming, and I'll also tell you all the shortcut I took to start making money a lot quicker than your average Twitch streamer. So first of all, how much money did I make? A couple of days ago, I posted a poll asking you all how much money you thought I'd made from this experiment, just to see how close you all were to the truth. And after just over 4,000 votes, 9% of you thought I'd made $0, 35% of you thought I'd made less than $100, 36% of you thought I'd made between $100 and $500, 12% of you thought I'd made between $500 and $1,000, and 8% of you thought I made over $1,000. The actual amount of money I made was as follows. I made $17.30 from ads playing on my stream, $69.45 from donations, and $141.86 from subscribers. In total, this adds up to $228.61. Altogether, over the course of that month, I did 12 two-hour streams, which added up gives a total stream time of 24 hours. This means that the $228.61 that I made in total worked out at about $9.52 per hour. It's not an amazing amount of money, but it's not awful either, and I'm sure that if I stuck at streaming and built a community, then my income from streaming would also grow. However, live streaming I've found is something I just cannot do for two reasons in particular. Actually, three reasons. The third reason's kind of a bit weird and unexpected. So the first reason that I found live streaming really difficult is I cannot multitask. I found trying to read the chat whilst also streaming, doing things like baking or painting virtual houses was just impossible to me and almost made my two brain cells just explode. I have always had a suspicion that I have some kind of attention disorder because I can just not have two things going on at once. For example, I find it impossible to work while I have music on at the same time, and if I get like a text when there's music on, I need to pause the music to read the text. I'm very aware that admitting this will have a lot of people diagnosing me with different disorders in the comments, which I don't really mind, but the reality of this is that it made streaming and the multitasking that requires very difficult for me. I did say there was a kind of unexpected and weird reason that I found streaming quite difficult, and that was the things that people would say in the chat about me. I'm not used to this kind of uncomfortable attention, but people quite often made weird sexual comments about me, and I found that that had two effects. One was that it kind of made other viewers uncomfortable and sort of ruined the wholesome vibe that I was trying to create with my streams. And the second is that it just kind of threw me off a little bit because I didn't know what to say or do in those situations. In hindsight, I think this was down to me not being very good at moderating my own chat. And I think this probably comes down to me being unable to multitask, being able to play a game or bake something whilst at the same time interacting with the chat or sort of shepherding it out of weirdo sexual territory was just too many plates to spin for me. And looking back, I think it would have made much more sense for me to take on a couple of moderators who would handle all of that stuff and keep everyone in check. The third reason that I really didn't like streaming is that I just don't like being the center of attention. I know that seems weird because I've got this kind of big YouTube channel where I am the center of attention, but this channel is kind of different because I have a lot of control over what you see and what you don't see. I put a lot of preparation into these videos, and the end product is always something that I'm pretty sure of, pretty happy with. But live streaming is very different because you're there, you're on, and people are watching you for hours at a time, and I found that to be quite a lot of pressure. I was only streaming for 2 hours at a time. I don't know how other people do it who stream for 6, 8, 10 hours at a time. That just sounds like a nightmare to me. So ultimately, I just don't think it's a venture that I'm cut out for. Now, as I mentioned at the start of the video, I wanted to share a shortcut I took to start making more money more quickly than your average streamer. In the previous video, I mentioned that to start making money on Twitch, you have to reach affiliate status on their platform by hitting a set of goals, which are stream for at least 8 hours, stream on at least 7 different days, have an average of 3 viewers, and have at least 50 followers. Initially, I was fully prepared to put in this effort and time to start making money on Twitch. However, I stumbled across a small section on their partner application page which says, do you already have an established audience on YouTube or Twitter? Given that I do have a bit of an audience already, I clicked yes, and Twitch emailed me back within a couple of hours saying that they couldn't offer me a full partnership, but they could offer me affiliate status right away, which means I could start making money from my very first stream. Despite the negative things that I spoke about when it comes to streaming, there are a lot of positives, and I feel it's only fair to mention them as well. So I really enjoyed hanging out with my viewers, and seeing the same people turn up for every stream was really nice. Just seeing those regulars and developing a little community, having them turn up and sort of enjoy my content, but also speak to each other in the chat, was just really cool to see. I also had a fair few people message me saying that they always really enjoyed and looked forward to my streams, so that side of things was all very heartwarming. So continuing along the lines of people who supported this whole streaming idea, I wanted to come back and say a quick thank you to Asus, who sponsored basically the whole idea. They're not sponsoring this video, I just had such a good time working with a big brand, it was so cool to do that. And the laptop that they sent me to actually handle all of the streams just worked perfectly. So I just want to give that unbiased, unfiltered view on it all and say that if you're a creative, a streamer, photographer, or maybe you just want a really powerful laptop to browse Twitter, then the ZenBook Pro 14 is honestly perfect. It was so good and I really enjoyed using it. So if you want to read more about that, if you want to pick up a very good laptop yourself, probably the best creative laptop on the market right now, then I'll leave my Asus short link down below. But again, they're not sponsoring this video, I'm not getting paid to say that, it was just honestly a very good laptop and I highly recommend it. So circling back to the aim of this experiment, I wanted to see how viable streaming is as a side hustle to make some extra money. In my opinion, I think streaming is better suited as a hobby than as a side hustle because it's not scalable. You need to physically be on camera. It's not something that you can kind of hire out to someone else eventually if it grows to a certain stage. And it does take up quite a lot of time, which if it's just a hobby is completely fine. If I was to break it down and review it as a side hustle, I'd give it 7 out of 10 for fun, 1 out of 10 for the time it takes, 2.3 out of 10 for the money it made me, because my goal with these side hustle videos is to try and find something that makes me $1,000 in a month, so $230-ish, 2.3 out of 10. And if we average out all of those scores, that gives us 3.4 out of 10 overall. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate you taking a second to leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.